Hello, beloved. It has been a while, hasn't it? So I'm coming in recording this on the new moon in June for the whole new and rebirth. And I want to ask you something. Have you ever realized that the woman you are becoming was hidden inside the woman you've been all along? And it's about when you stop forcing the outcomes and started consecrating your life, everything changes. And there's the bells in the background, someone's alarm coming in chorus for this. So, welcome to Sacred Soul Sparks podcast, the space where truth becomes medicine, where the feminine remembers herself, and where we talk about the things that women only whisper about. I'm Michelle, and this session is how I stopped creating content and started consecrating my life. And here's the thing, for a while I've thought that I've been rebuilding my business, but it actually turns out that I've been rebuilding myself. And maybe not even the rebuilding, I have been remembering who I am. And so much has happened in the last couple of months since I've been to India and took some time off, and it's all coming together beautifully. And I want to share with you how I've likened women to a diamond, and there's one diamond, but many facets. And this also mirrors the moon and her phases or her faces. And I've shared this for absolute years since I've been following the moon over 30 years ago to help me with my menstrual cycle. And it's this: 1 minute you are so full of energy and dynamic, you're buzzing, and then you become super turned on to life. You just want to spread and share the love. Then you're moody, impatient, have a short fuse, and everyone stays clear just in case or goes silent not to trigger you. And then finally, you want to hide away from everyone. Nope, you're not a psycho. You are cyclic, my love. And this is where these phases are describing the menstrual cycle. And when you begin to awaken to your feminine cyclic nature, you see that you are part of the one diamond, the one moon, has many facets, has many faces, waxes and wanes, or like the diamonds, it is forged through life, through extreme pressure and heat. And so somewhere along the way for me, I started treating those facets and my different faces as separate women. I was the sacred woman. I was the sensual woman. I was the business woman over here. I was the woman who loves the goddess and has begun speaking with God. I was a wife in one room. I am the woman who says fuck. I am the woman who whispers sacred mantras. And I'm also the woman who guides women home to their yoni. And it's as if I had separated all of them. They weren't all me, and I felt fragmented. When in truth, I am multifaceted. And the diamond doesn't choose a side. She shines in her wholeness. So the way I began to polish my diamond was I began to offer myself prayers. I had been pouring prayer into my husband. Instead of complaining about him, I began to offer love through prayer to him. And then I began to share the prayer for me into who we were becoming. And that rippled into me. I began praying to the woman I was becoming and holding myself with so much love in the process that so many things have shared. And it's as if Shakti had re-entered the chat. And in my case, the prayers. I created for creation's sake, not for an outcome. And Shakti is creation. Shakti doesn't create because there is a demand. She creates because creation is Shakti's nature. The feminine is born to create life, whether that be the life we want to live or a child. And I have loved this quote, or it's a stanza, for years and years, and I lived and breathed it. And then sadly for me, what I've come to realize in the last few years of my menopause darkness, I forgot that Shakti is our nature. She is mine. She is yours. And what I used to share with so many of my clients is this stanza, this verse from the Vijnana Bharata Tantra. There is no difference between Shakti and the one who embodies her. Shakti is identical to the self. So, how does that relate in life? Most of us are on social media, and I want you to know that what's living inside of you, if you want to know what's living inside of you, look at your feed, because your feed is going to reveal it to you. My feed shows sacred relationships, devotion, feminine leadership, marriage, embodiment, goddess, God. What about yours? What does your feed show you? And that's why I'm saying I stopped creating content and started consecrating my life. Because somewhere in the middle of India, prayer, my husband and I being in India, going to temples twice a day, offering prayer, devotion, and things evolved. And at that time, I shut down a 20-year chapter of my life. I shut down my UK business, and I began to slowly listen more than ever before and really receive the codes. And I met a lovely woman who began to share about my human design, and I'm 2/4, and the 2 is really me going into that hermit mode. I need my space to turn inwards, like at the new moon. I'm Cancerian as well, so I'm ruled by the moon. And also then the 4 is that opportunist. So it's like I go in to then reveal out. And the truth is I've been consecrating my life for months. And this is so Shakti. Previously, where I've said that I have struggled, my feed was about limiting beliefs, changing through how to change. And so as I consecrated my life, this is so Shakti. She creates without the outcome or without a pressure. You know, it's like a river just flows. It doesn't flow because someone has purchased a ticket to watch it flow. A flower doesn't bloom because someone has liked or commented on your post. The flower just blooms. So I really felt this for my clients, that Shakti entered the chat. But for me, she has always been there. It's just the human me forgot the depth of my devotion and connection. And I have lived and breathed these teachings and prayed for them. And honoured Shakti around my house with yantras and murtis, the statues, and then came the menopause, and it wasn't the loss of Shakti. There was an enormous amount of Shakti because she was burning through my old identities with the hot flushes. Shakti never left my home, and my home is an extension, an external representation of my internal home, me. But when your human you is in charge, there's like this absence of the truth. And this is the illusion, the Maya. And we forget to remember. So when we forget, there's an opportunity to turn within to truly remember on a much deeper level. How many times have you forgotten the truth? And the illusion and the self-abandonment has taken a grip temporarily. So I was receiving the codes to practice for myself. And I felt out of alignment, which is why I kept retreating. Because if I'm going to talk the talk, I've got to walk the walk. And so literally I was walking the walk. For months, I began to speak prayers into my body as I would walk my dogs, walk myself. And I shared one of them in the last podcast, Yoni Yes. And I created them for me to live and breathe them, to consecrate my life. And I listened and I walked and I prayed more and more and more. And I've never spoken so much to God. And my walks are my walks with God. And the other thing that I came to know is that dog spelt backward is God. So whether I walked with my dogs or I'd solo talk with God, and Shiva and Shakti talking like Shiva and Shakti talked in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, I would speak with my husband. I became like this yoni whisperer, whispering these prayers into my being. And one day I realized these aren't messages I'm teaching. These are the messages for my soul. These are the prayers for who I'm becoming. And as I prayed into my life, my being, they recreated me. One prayer softened me, another helped me lay down what I was carrying, and another would help me tune into my confidence or allow me to sow seeds of remembrance to my body, my pleasure, my yoni yes, my pussy prayers. So as I laid down what I was carrying, what I saw physically is that I lost a lot of the menopausal weight because I was also letting go of identities, old stories, and I was breathing new life, new creation, new prayers into my being. And recently, a mentor asked us to play like we did as a child for play's sake, in that freedom. And my prayers invoked into the space of becoming the frequency before the evidence actually existed. And this is what a child does. I would play for play's sake. I would ride my horse. But my horse was a wall, my nan's wall when I was in Scotland, and I would ride this horse everywhere and imagine where I would go. The horse was invisible, but yet I rode. The castles, the homes were imaginary, yet I lived there. The tea parties were empty, but everyone was invited. And when I would play with my dolls, my mum would say that I would boss them around. But no, I was creating worlds. I was casting roles with people in the rooms with my dolls. And I was creating my kingdom through my imagination. And as adults, we forget the play. But the play takes the pressure off because the outcome is removed. The pressure leaves the room so that we feel free to be and imagine whatever. And so I've been quiet because I've been consecrating my life with love, play, and prayers. And in my lineage, my tantric lineage, this is the goddess Lalita, and her name means she who plays. She is always in holy union with her beloved Shiva. The god and the goddess are one. And so every prayer for me is a consecration of this sacred union. I'm building these new worlds, and whilst I'm not utterly there yet, I am having so much fun creating them, and I absolutely love what I have been creating this year. And especially in the last couple of months, I created a new course called Be Her. And it's ultimately how I magnetized my man all those years ago. And it truly is just a beautiful course for the woman who's done settling. And then I have finally brought my yoni codes, all of the prayers that have helped me glow from my whole being, into a portal for a woman to begin to listen to what has literally changed my life, that has reignited the spark in my marriage. It's like we are honeymooners again. And so I'm delighted to share these with you. And that's why I say I stopped creating content and started consecrating my life. This isn't just a title for this podcast. It's been a revelation. What I've really been doing in these past few months is not rebuilding my business. It's been literally remembering who I am. And so if there's anything I want to leave you with today, it's these contemplations. What are you speaking into your life? What are you whispering into your body? What are you praying yourself into becoming? Because these are the seeds. Whatever you are saying is seeds for your soul soil. Your cells are listening, your life is listening. And even more so at this new moon. This is the time when we really think about the next moon cycle, or what it is that we desire. And perhaps the woman you are waiting to become is already within you, my love. So if something has sparked within you, I really hope that it has, then share it with me. I'm delighted to be back, and we will speak again soon. Much love.